Hey guys, hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today's video is going to be all about birthdays and celebrations, and it's all about how we do it in our large family. We do birthdays almost every single month. On our birthday we have a celebration. If not a birthday celebration, then it'll be a holiday celebration. So what can we do in our family, and what do we do in our family to help kind of cut down those expenses, make that child feel special? You know, some simple things that you can do. That's what I'm going to share today. So I thought I would do this video because it is my daughter Jaden's 13th birthday, actually yesterday, and so she we didn't do a lot of recording for her birthday, just a little bit of food prep and stuff like that. That's okay. You know, I think when you hit that teenage years, you don't want to really be on camera all the time, and I'm completely fine with that. So I thought I would just share from my book, Large Family Mothering. Remember, I said I have this in the link in the description below, but if not, just keep watching these videos and I will keep talking about each chapter eventually. So how do we make each child feel special in our family is we plan ahead. Back in the day when I had a lot of little ones, it was hard just to function and do daily life. I even remember like birthdays were coming up and like they wanted to do balloons and streamers, and all I could think of in my head was, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to watch the baby that's gonna be choking on a balloon, or oh my goodness, it's more work for me to clean up, or oh my goodness, they're gonna have sugar and my day's gonna be crazy. So those are really bad negative thoughts to be thinking at that time, but that was the reality of life. So I've tried to really, I'm thankful I had a teenage daughter at the time, and she really enjoyed, she was turned into the birthday fairy, and so she would, we don't do fairy anything, but she would come out and she would decorate their room special for them, or the living room or the house or something, do some balloon streamers, make a nice little sign, things like that for them. And I was very thankful for that, because at that time I was just completely exhausted and just could not even do it. And so I've been, over the years, as things have gotten easier and I was able to do things, I said, you know what, I'm going to make a point to make sure that I decorate each birthday, get balloons for their birthday, do something like that to make them feel special. So in our home, we used to do a lot of streamers, but now our walls, I don't know if maybe it's just living in the South, I don't know, like the streamers don't stick on the walls for very long, and I don't know if it's because of the humidity, I'm assuming. So we skip the streamers, plus we have really high ceilings. We skip the streamers, but we usually do balloons, and so we'll do balloons and put those all around the house, and then we make up, we used to have a dry erase board, and we'd write happy birthday, whoever it was, with some neat little words on there, things like that, but I don't have that anymore, so we usually use a big piece of paper. We've made like the curly Q things where you take a square piece of paper and cut it into a circle, and then do like the corkscrew cut, and then it hangs down from the ceiling. That's a really inexpensive way to make some cute things. So we would do things like that. If I didn't do balloons like all over the place, I would do helium balloons. We did that for Madeline's birthday last year, and she thought that was the best thing in the entire world. We went to the dollar store. I was thinking dollar store balloons were not going to hold up for very long. Those balloons held up for like a month, and I was very, very surprised. And so for $1, well worth that thing. So that's something that we will do. We also do chores every single day in our house, and our kids always help with chores. That's just part of life and what we do. But on their birthday, we don't do any chores, or they don't have to do any chores. If they want to, that's fine. I do have some that say, oh, it's just birthday, it's no big deal, I can help. And they help, but some just say, you know, it's my birthday, I'm taking the day off. And so they get to take the day off. And sometimes when we're even school, I don't mind if they take the day off school if we're not doing anything too important. So that's something they get to do for their day to be special. We also let them choose their own special foods. And so some like to pick breakfast, lunch, and dinner out. Some just say, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever, I just want a special dinner. It just depends, but it's their choice to get what they want. So it's funny seeing my older ones, my 4 older ones, they'll choose like a sugar cereal, like something that I would never buy, like Fruity Pebbles or Frosted Flakes, or things that I just don't have. But my younger set, they don't have that. We've never really had that cereal, so they're like, oh, no big deal, maybe it's just some Cheerios or something, because we don't have Cheerios a lot. So kind of funny seeing the difference in how I raised the older ones with more some processed food, and the younger ones didn't really get that. So some might choose sugar cereal, some might want pancakes and syrup, some might just want yogurt smoothies, whatever they have. That's whatever they do, that's their choice to have on their birthday. Jaden chose, we picked up some donuts, and then we had breakfast burritos, so that's what they had for her birthday today. The lunch treat as well, I don't mind. At lunch, they can pick their own treat as well. It could just be leftovers. It can be a processed food. I don't even care if they pull macaroni and cheese in a box, or even those ramen noodles. I know, bad. My older ones do enjoy those. Again, brought up on the processed food diet. So I don't care, whatever they have. It's one time. It's not a big deal. So they have that, and then they usually choose a dinner. Usually we can either do like a eat dinner at home and do, you know, dessert, or we can go out to dinner as well. Sometimes I always think that if we go out to eat, it kind of cuts into the birthday budget, I always say, and so it's usually cheaper. I always say if you want a bigger present, let's choose something to have at home, but if you want, you don't really care, you don't have something you really, really want, then we'll go out and eat at a special restaurant. And sometimes we'll just take that child out. Sometimes we'll go as a family. It just depends on what the situation is. And so as they get older, sometimes it's easier to take them out separately than when they were all little, we just all went. So they'll choose their favorite meals. Jaden's favorite meal is burrito casserole. So we haven't had that in a long time, so she wanted burrito casserole and guacamole and chips. So we had that, and she was so happy for that. So they choose that. I have other kids, like Ashlyn loves tater tot casserole. That's her favorite choice every single year. Evan's dessert, and then they also choose their dessert. Evan's dessert is, I'm just remembering the ones that I know for sure, like I know Lauren loves the chocolate eclair dessert. Evan loves the the ice cream sandwich dessert. Colin loves strawberry pretzel dessert. Jaden just likes to pick whatever is that time of year that she enjoys. And so everybody kind of picks their own favorite thing. We either can go out and buy a cake, like Jaden, we bought a cake. We were just gonna get ice cream, and then so we got some really good ice cream. She's so funny. We're at the store and she's like, oh, we'll just pick Neapolitan ice cream. And I'm like, Jaden, we get Neapolitan like every month anyways, and it's just in the squares. And so I said, no, birthday. I'm like, good ice cream, like name brand, good flavored ice cream. So I forced her to buy really good. So I think she got Reese's peanut butter cup and Reese's Pieces, some kind of mixture by Breyer. She got that, and then she was like, oh, we'll just get Neapolitan. I'm like, no. So then we got a bunch. I think we got 4 or 5 little half gallons of just different kinds, like cotton candy, cookie dough, things like that. And so just something special. And then I said, well, why don't we get a cake too? And so it's her 13th birthday. And so she wanted to make some kind of chocolate ganache cake at the time, but she doesn't really love cake. And I said, well, why don't we buy something, even if it was just in the bakery? And then she decided, you know what? There was a cake there in the bakery, and it was a chocolate ganache cake. And we got it, and she really liked that. So that was good. So we don't normally always buy cake. Sometimes we do. It just depends. Sometimes we make our own. Sometimes I let the kids make their own. It just depends on what. It's their special day. So whatever they want to do, we do. That's the key. The child, usually before their birthday, we kind of tell them, okay, start thinking about what you want for your birthday, things like that, or if you want to do something, or if you want to, buy a present, things like that. And so I know Jaden, she had some time. She was kind of going back and forth through a couple things. She wanted like a compound bow. Then she wanted some batons. And so then we ended up, she wanted fire batons. I was like, oh, can't do fire batons. So we ended up just buying her some new batons. And she was very happy with that. Another child wanted to get their ears pierced, and they wanted to go out to dinner and stuff like that. So we did that. I think that was Brooklyn's birthday a couple years ago. She got her ears pierced, and then she wanted to go out to a special restaurant. So it just depends. Maddie wanted a baby doll one year. There was a lot of money, and I said, okay, that's going to be like most of your present, or that's going to be your birthday. It's going to be that dolly. And she was like, that's completely fine. So it just depends on what their things they wanted. For holidays, I usually try to plan something for holidays in our home too. I never usually did. Sometimes I just did dinner and that, but as they're getting older, we kind of try to do things. For Valentine's Day, I used to make some homemade treats for everybody, but it is Madeline's birthday, and so I know that we have a lot of candy at that time, so I don't usually buy as much, but I used to make little individual chocolate boxes for everybody, like some chocolate dipped Oreos, chocolate dipped different pretzels, things like that, and gave them to each of my kids and my husband, something like that. 4th of July, we always do. We can't shoot off fireworks down here because it's illegal, but we always go to our community and fireworks. So we always take a whole bunch. We take boxes. I think we have 20 or 30 boxes worth of sparklers, maybe 40. I feel like we have 40 boxes of sparklers, and then we take a big giant tin can and the little chafing lights, I think they're called, and then a lighter, and then we'll just share sparklers with our community. Things like that. And we always just take some snacks to share with everybody, just a good time. And then I know for Thanksgiving, we usually plan some games to play at home instead of just having dinner. Sometimes we go hiking. It just depends on the weather. Christmas is Christmas because it's just good for Christmas, so we're staying busy with all the activities with Christmas and presents. And then New Year's, we have everybody together, so we usually plan some fun family games and then have all our treats. We kind of try to do the same kind of thing each year, mix it up a little bit with different games, things like that, but just something that the kids look forward to, because I remember for years it was like, oh, it's Easter, and it was like, oh, we're just going to have dinner. No big deal. And so kind of boring for a child. And so if we don't have a lot planned, then I try to plan some kind of little party, some kind of little activity, just to make it more fun for them. What are some simple games? We stick with the old generic simple games, and we've had a whole list of them that we've played many, many times over the years. One of the games that kids love playing, I played as a kid, it was where you take a mason jar and you put it on the ground and you stand on a chair and you drop a clothespin in it. It's fun. I don't know. Try it. See if your family can do it. We love doing that. Sometimes you kneel. Sometimes you stand. It just depends on how far the distance is. We do that. We always play pin the tail on something. If it's pin the lips on the Valentine heart, pin the nose in the snowman, pin the gobble on the turkey. It just depends on what season it is that we do. So we do those a lot. We do musical chairs. We've played hot potato. We've done in how tall of a tower they can make in 1 minute without the like in conversation hearts or Starburst candy squares, how tall they can get a tower in 1 minute without it knocking over. We did obstacle courses out in the summertime. We can't do it so much here because we have no yard, but in Michigan we would set up an obstacle course every 4th of July. And so it was simple. We started on the big giant wheels scooters, the Razor scooters. They were like big wheels. They had to ride down the mountain, then they got water balloons. They had to throw it at a target. And then they had stacking blocks where they'd take some blocks and stack them. Then they went to another one. It was a bucket of water. You had to squeeze the water with a sponge and squeeze it into the next bucket. Then we slid down the slide, and then they had a hula hoop. They had to throw some beanbags in, and then it was our race through the finish line. And we did that every year, and that was fun. They always like doing stuff like that. We've done scavenger hunts through the house where we've done different clues. We put them outside. That's always been fun to do. Charades. Charades are always fun. Kids love charades, any kind of charades. So we've done like Christmas ones and just different holiday ones. And that's just something they love playing and doing. Think of that beforehand. Print those things off. Stacking cups. We've done those where you just stack who can stack the cups the highest. After they're stacked, we try to throw in a sock and see who can knock them down. Take 3 ice cream buckets and see if you can throw a rolled up sock into each bucket. Water balloon toss. We made homemade piñatas. That was messy, but a fun time. Beanbag toss. We got a big, huge appliance box. We painted some different scenes on it and did a beanbag toss for little ones. We put dried rice in a bowl, blindfold the person, and put safety pins in there, closed safety pins, and they had to reach in and try to grab them out. That was hard to do. That's fun to do. Bingo is always a one that we play. On the birthdays, it doesn't really matter. And those are all just simple games you can do that you don't require a whole lot of things. There's so many. You can Google so many ideas online of simple games that don't cost any money. They're just fun to do. And everybody plays. No winners. There's no like, here's the winner, here gets a prize. Everybody plays and has a good time, and we just share in the fellowship together. The big game that we do a lot is the Saran wrap ball. And that seems to be our family's favorite. We love to do that. We do that for usually for holidays and stuff like that. We'll do that depending if everybody's going to be here. We'll do that for Thanksgiving, but we always do it for New Year's, and we throw some money in there and throw in some snacks and treats, and that's always a fun time. And so that's something that we do in our family. It's just trying to go out of your way to make that child feel special, make them feel like like Jaden. It used to be just that day. Now it's kind of turned into birthday weekend, and so I know like Jaden, it's like, oh, it's her birthday weekend, so she hasn't really done a lot of chores, which is great because it is her birthday. So we just kind of let her get out of that. Oh, what do you want for your treat? Like I took her out, and then after church went to we had some children not feeling so well, and so my husband stayed home, and I took her to church with half the kids, and then we went to Starbucks afterwards and got a coffee drink. She doesn't drink coffee all the time. I'm against that, but she does like the taste of coffee, so I said, why don't I get a nice coffee, like a Frappuccino? So she got one of those. That was just grown up. I told my kids, I'm like, wow, if every year we say, okay, on your 9th birthday you can have cake, or on your 8th birthday you can have a cookie. I said, just think of all the excitement you can do to work towards that kind of thing. They left. They're like, Mom, but we do have a rule. We don't do gum in our family till you're 10, just because I found gum. So it's like when they're 10, they go get gum. So I'm like, okay, 13 will be the birthday for coffee. And so not to have all the time, but just to have a treat. So that was special. I took her out doing that. Then my husband took her out later, and they went and had a special afternoon fun time. And then we came together, and then we had park day. We had a good family time with pizza, and we had her birthday cake and all that fun stuff. And then we had her friends come over. She had her friends over. We don't usually ever do birthday with friends. It's always just us. We just don't play anything big. But as they get older, if they would like to have a couple friends over, that's fine. So she's had a friend over here all day today, and so 2 of her friends. And so they've been just having fun playing, being girls, and like dancing and doing. We put up the Wii game. We haven't had Wii up in forever. So put the Wii game on. So they're just having fun playing with that, making lipsticks and stuff out of, I don't even know, wax crayons and coconut oil. And they've been melting it over my candle. So my candle has like a red crayon dye in it, but that's okay. So they're just having fun, things like that. So we just do, and that's like her fun day. When they turn 16, we usually do in our homeschool family, we don't do, like a lot of people do, they're 18, they graduate, and then they get, they have a big homeschool party. I guess I've never done that with my older ones. We didn't have any laws in Michigan, so my kids kind of finished school when they were 16. That was what we did. And so we would have a big 16th birthday. So the girls chose to have a big party. So we would do it. We would rent a place, and we would have a big party, like with food and music and games, and just a really good time out, something they can remember. And so we did that. We did that for Ashland's. Colin didn't want to do a party. He wanted to just get I think it's a Gretsch guitar, and so they're expensive guitars. So we bought him a Gretsch guitar. Lauren, we didn't have a whole lot of money at the time, but we still made a really cool party in our basement. And so we actually had a really fun, she had a fun birthday. We got to decorate the whole basement, had a band and everything else, and it was a really good time. So we made that special. You can make things pretty special even when you have to be frugal. And so, and then Evan, he didn't want to do a party either, so he wanted, I think he wanted an Xbox, whatever it was, big at that time. So we got his TV and Xbox at that age. And so now Jane will be the next one in line. I don't know. I guess we'll wait to see if we do a big 16th birthday or if we do something when they graduate. It just depends on, I guess, what we're deciding. But that's what we've done for the older ones. And so usually I just like them to feel special on that day and have a good time with everyone. That's when we'll invite like a big party, like a huge party. We'll invite, 100 people or whoever wants to come, just to all their friends, things like that. But the other birthdays, I think Brooklyn had a birthday here and had 4 girls. That was kind of a first where we've done things like that. That's just the way we do it. We don't always do everybody because it can be a lot. Just our family alone is enough. So, but just going out of our way to make that child feel special. That's the point of a birthday. All the other children will make cards for that, the recipient and things like that. That's like, oh, let's make a card for Jane, or ooh, we can do something special for her tomorrow, and someone will make her bed, or someone will help with her chores, or feed her animals, or whatever, just to let them know that, look at, I know a lot of them are like, I want to buy her gifts. I'm like, you don't have to buy gifts. I try to tell them, you don't have to buy gifts all the time. Just do something that would be meaningful to her. And so a lot of them make little cards, things like that, and might make a little craft or something and give it to the birthday person. And so just being kind in other way. And sometimes they'll choose to do something with a sibling. Like I know, like Madeline might do something with Autumn. Sometimes Jaden might do something with Brooklyn. So I know like Jaden and Brooklyn kind of are the same age, so they're friends that are here. They're like their age, so they're kind of hanging out together. So sometimes they can choose like a sibling to go with them and do something too. It just depends. I'm just going back and forth trying to remember everything in our birthday. So jumping around, but it's good. So that's what we do for a large family birthday and celebration in our home. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.